Dear brothers and sisters, today I want to talk to you about a very important topic that touches the core of our spiritual and emotional well-being. Stop loving what is breaking you. Love yourself, release what hurts. All of us, at some point in our lives, find ourselves holding on to things that cause us pain. Sometimes it is toxic relationships, harmful habits, or negative thoughts. We cling to them because we think they define us, or perhaps because we are afraid of change. But I remind you today, beloved brothers and sisters, that loving what harms you is like holding onto a burning coal. You may feel the pain, but you refuse to let go. Loving yourself truly means recognizing your worth, understanding that you are a creation of Allah, deserving of love, respect, and peace. It means valuing your mental and emotional health as much as your physical well-being. When you love yourself, you will see that self-care is not selfish, it is a necessity. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Release what hurts you. This is not just about letting go of past pain, but also about forgiving yourself and others. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret only keeps you in a prison of your own making. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It is a step towards healing and freedom. Remember, true strength lies in your ability to love yourself enough to walk away from what is breaking you. It takes courage to let go of what no longer serves your highest good. It takes faith to trust that Allah has better plans for you, plans that bring peace, happiness, and fulfillment. So I urge you today, love yourself enough to release what hurts, embrace your worth, forgive your past, and step into the light of a renewed heart. Your journey to healing begins with a single act of love. Love for yourself and trust in Allah's mercy. Loving yourself means recognizing your worth and prioritizing your well-being. Understand that you deserve love, respect, and peace, and that self-care is essential for spiritual and emotional health. Loving yourself is perhaps one of the most vital aspects of leading a fulfilling and balanced life. When we speak about loving oneself, it goes beyond superficial notions of vanity or self-indulgence. It is rooted deeply in recognizing your intrinsic worth as a creation of Allah, understanding that you are valuable simply because Allah has entrusted you with life and given you unique qualities and potential. Loving yourself in this way means appreciating your own dignity, respecting your body, mind, and soul, and ensuring that your actions reflect a sense of self-respect. It involves understanding that your well-being, mental, emotional, and spiritual, is just as important as your physical health. Many of us have been conditioned by society, peers, or even ourselves to believe that caring for oneself is a form of selfishness. However, true love for oneself aligns perfectly with the teachings of Islam, which emphasize balance, moderation, and self-respect. When you love yourself, you acknowledge that you are deserving of kindness and compassion, not only from others, but also from yourself. You realize that neglecting your needs, tolerating abuse, or constantly putting others before your own well-being ultimately diminishes your capacity to serve others effectively. Loving yourself means setting healthy boundaries, understanding your limits, and refusing to accept treatment that undermines your dignity. Furthermore, loving yourself involves forgiving yourself for past mistakes. Everyone makes errors. It is part of our human nature. Instead of dwelling on guilt or shame, loving yourself requires you to accept your imperfections and see them as opportunities for growth. It is important to remember that Allah, in His infinite mercy, forgives all sins when sincere repentance is made. You must learn to forgive yourself as well, recognizing that your past does not define your future. This self-compassion allows you to move forward with a lighter heart, free from the burden of guilt, and with a renewed sense of purpose and hope. Loving yourself also means taking responsibility for your mental and emotional health. In today's fast-paced world, stress, anxiety, and depression are common struggles that many face silently. Loving yourself entails recognizing these challenges and seeking help when needed. Whether through professional counseling, talking to trusted friends or family, or engaging in spiritual practices that bring peace and clarity. It is a way of honoring Allah's gift of life by nurturing your inner self and striving for inner peace. When you prioritize your mental health, you become better equipped to handle life's difficulties, serve others, and fulfill your purpose with sincerity and strength. Another essential aspect of loving yourself is accepting your individuality. You are unique with your own talents, passions, and dreams. Instead of comparing yourself to others, loving yourself involves embracing who you are, with all your strengths and weaknesses. Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small, and be patient with your journey of self-improvement. Recognize that Allah has created you with a specific purpose, and your unique qualities are part of His divine plan. When you love yourself, you are less likely to be swayed by societal pressures or superficial standards of beauty and success. Instead, you focus on nurturing your inner qualities and aligning yourself with values that bring true happiness and contentment. Loving yourself also means practicing gratitude for what you have been given. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking or what harms you to what is abundant and good in your life. It fosters a positive mindset and helps you develop resilience against life's hardships. When you love yourself, you acknowledge Allah's blessings and trust that He knows what is best for you. This trust empowers you to face difficulties with patience, knowing that every trial is a test and an opportunity for growth. Finally, loving yourself is an act of worship. It is a way of honoring Allah's creation and fulfilling the trust He has placed in you. When you care for yourself, you are better able to fulfill your duties towards others, your family, your community, and most importantly, your Creator. Loving yourself with balance and sincerity is part of fulfilling your purpose in life and drawing closer to Allah's mercy and pleasure. It is about seeing yourself as Allah sees you, worthy, valuable, and deserving of love and compassion. When you embrace this love for yourself, you set a foundation for a life filled with purpose, peace, and spiritual fulfillment. Release what hurts you through forgiveness and letting go. Holding on to pain, anger, or resentment only keeps you trapped. Forgiving yourself and others is crucial for healing and freedom. Releasing what hurts you through forgiveness and letting go is one of the most profound acts of healing and spiritual growth. Holding on to pain, anger, resentment, or bitterness weighs heavily on the heart and mind, preventing you from experiencing true peace and happiness. When you cling to these negative emotions, you carry a burden that can drain your energy, distort your perspective, and hinder your ability to move forward in life. Forgiveness is not merely about excusing others or dismissing what happened. It is a conscious choice to free yourself from the shackles of past hurt so that you can find relief, peace, and emotional freedom. Letting go requires strength, patience, and faith, especially when the wounds are deep or the betrayal is painful. In Islam, forgiveness is highly emphasized and regarded as a virtuous act. Allah, in His infinite mercy, encourages believers to forgive others, promising that forgiveness leads to purification of the heart and closeness to Him. The Quran reminds us that Allah loves those who forgive and overlook the faults of others. When you forgive, you align yourself with divine virtues and demonstrate humility, compassion, and trust in Allah's justice. Forgiving someone does not mean forgetting what happened or denying the pain you experienced. Rather, it involves choosing to release the negative hold that the pain has over your life. It is a way of recognizing that harboring resentment only harms you, and that true strength lies in rising above grievances with patience and faith. Letting go also involves surrendering the need for revenge or justice in your own hands. Sometimes the natural human instinct is to seek retribution or hold on to grievances as a form of validation or control. However, this only perpetuates a cycle of pain and suffering that can continue for years or even a lifetime. Islam teaches us that true victory lies in forgiving and trusting Allah's plan for justice. When you release resentment, you free yourself from the chains of the past and open your heart to healing. You acknowledge that Allah's wisdom is greater than any human judgment and that His mercy encompasses even those who wrong us. By letting go, you demonstrate faith that Allah's justice will prevail and that your peace is more valuable than any temporary revenge. Forgiveness is also an act of self-love and self-respect. When you choose to forgive, you prioritize your own peace and emotional well-being over the pain inflicted by others. Holding on to anger only prolongs your suffering, while forgiving allows you to heal and regain your inner balance. It's important to understand that forgiveness does not mean you must reconcile or continue to have a relationship with the person who hurt you. Sometimes, the best act of forgiveness is to release the pain and wish well for the person, even from a distance. Forgiveness is about freeing your heart from the poison of resentment so that you can move on with your life unencumbered by past wounds. The journey of forgiving and letting go often requires patience and perseverance. It's not a one-time act, but a process that may take time, especially when the pain is deep or the betrayal is significant. In these moments, turning to prayer and supplication can help. Asking Allah for strength, patience, and the ability to forgive is a powerful step towards healing. Remember that Allah is the most forgiving and merciful, and He loves those who forgive. Trust in His mercy and seek His guidance to help you release what harms you and to fill your heart with peace and compassion. Letting go also means accepting what you cannot change. Sometimes life brings circumstances beyond your control, and no amount of anger or resentment can alter what happened. In such cases, surrendering to Allah's decree and trusting that everything happens for a reason can bring immense relief. It's about understanding that some wounds are part of life's tests, and that Allah's wisdom surpasses human understanding. When you accept and surrender, you open space for healing, growth, and divine guidance. This acceptance allows you to focus on what you can do, improving yourself, seeking forgiveness, and moving forward with renewed faith. Ultimately, releasing what hurts you through forgiveness and letting go is an act of faith and trust in Allah's mercy. It is a conscious decision to free yourself from the chains of past pain and embrace the possibility of peace and happiness. Forgiving others does not diminish your dignity. Instead, it elevates your spiritual status and aligns you with divine virtues. When you forgive, you honor Allah's command and demonstrate your trust in His wisdom and mercy. Letting go is not forgetting or denying the pain, but transforming it into a source of strength and spiritual growth. It's about choosing peace over suffering, hope over despair, and love over resentment. Through forgiveness, you not only heal your wounds, but also draw closer to Allah and His infinite mercy. May Allah guide us all to love ourselves rightly, to let go of what harms us, and to always seek His pleasure in every step we take. Ameen.